Hey guys, welcome to our channel.
We are FanClub React and we are back with something personal. This time we are doing oldest versus youngest of both three siblings. We are comparing what's true, what's not in our points of views. That is to say, every family is different, every family has a different dynamic. So stereotypes do not really exist here, or we try not to we fight against it.
Each one of us has a different point of view because she has a older sister and she has an idea of older sisters by her. And I have a younger sister, so I have the young sister view as my sister, like obviously perspective. So we can probably crash or be like, no, that's not because our families are completely different, our circumstances are different, education is different.
The video is 6 years old, so there might also be some inconsistencies. I don't even know if they use scientific facts or not, but in 6 years a lot of things can change in the scientific community.
The families also change a lot from 6 years from now, and the laws they permit, like nowadays they permit like the people from both sex to marry and have kids, and that's so important. That didn't happen in the past. What else? And that can now happen, and people I think are more free like in the family, and also the education changed a lot, and the way that people see education, like oh, you can educate children. In our era, like it was used to like parents like slap their kids and stuff like that. Nowadays it's not much of that. Also internet change and mobiles and
going through if they have like their references or like the articles they search. They just mention one. Okay, they mention Adler and Freud. Or so
Freud, obviously, let's go.
obviously, but they don't mention like other authors. So
why didn't they like Piaget, Vygotsky, Bandura, like because
there's
those ones, Piaget and Bandura talk about the environment, and I think like in the education and environment are very like important.
Yeah. Yes, it's not just biology. There's like a whole lot of context that might change the perspective of siblings. So might not just be like the family context, but like school, kindergarten, and stuff like that. That might also change.
And the environment is important because a person that has another sibling, like a older sibling, obviously will be more protected than the firstborn that basically your parents doesn't have experience. So you're like they first like, okay, what do you do now? And as a younger, you have like, okay, they know a little bit more of what's going to happen because they already have one. And obviously not all children are the same, but like,
not to mention,
it's easier if
also the actual parents also grow, like they mature, they change.
Brain.
Even
brains.
Even though people say, parents say, oh, I educated you the same, you clearly didn't. There's not a chance you educated the same, like the youngest with the oldest, or even the middle child. There's no way, because every year you're changing.
Because also people are different, so you can use the same strategy for both kids, so you have to discipline them differently, so you are not teaching the same.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long video.
Have you ever heard that the oldest child in a family tends to be very responsible, while children who have no siblings are far more likely to be selfish and demanding?
Yeah.
Are these merely stereotypes?
But that
or
makes
is it really
sense.
true? Today we've decided to find the answer to this intriguing question: how birth order can shape your personality. The birth order theory began in the 1920s with Alfred Adler, Sigmund Freud's friend and colleague.
Yes.
Adler believed that the order in which we were born
this will be us in the future. I guess I like.
Here is the theory. The firstborn child. According to Adler, the oldest child tends to be conservative, power-orientated, and predisposed towards leadership. They often take responsibility for their younger siblings. That's why firstborns grow up to be more caring, more willing to become parents, and more likely to take initiative. The middle child. The older brother or sister is a pace setter for the second child. That's why they often struggle to surpass their older sibling. The pace of development is higher. The middle kids in a family often tend to be ambitious, but they are rarely selfish. They're also more likely to set unreasonably high goals for themselves.
Depends.
This increases the number of failures. However, knowing how to cope with difficulties in life is what makes them stronger. The youngest child. As a rule, the youngest child gets a lot of care and attention from parents and even older siblings. That's why they may feel less experienced and independent.
Not on
However,
my side.
last-borns are usually highly motivated to surpass their older sisters and brothers.
Usually when the parents have like the older, like the younger, they have like, they also are on the biggest step on the career. So that attention, I think I feel more from brothers and sisters obviously than parents. I feel.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's more attention from like siblings helping us because I'm the youngest, you know. Like, for example, like a lot of work, yes, my parents took out time to help me do my homework and like assignments and stuff. But when they couldn't, like my sisters were there. It was like more, even like we had like ATL, you know, there's no translation for Portuguese, so, for English. So, like, we shared the same room. So it was always like, I got up and asked my sister to help me, like, what is this? Like, how do I write this? You know? So it is like that. There's not just education from my parents, but also sisters.
Being connected to that, I feel like it's very unfair, like for the oldest like siblings to take care of the younger, because that's like I'm like, I have a stable job, I have to work harder to get like in my goals as humans, because parents also have goals, okay? So they're like, oh, we have this older sibling, so he can take care of this younger sibling, so we are fine, we can work. And I feel like it's very like unfair for both of them, because children also need their parents. And it's unfair for the oldest to be like, okay, I have to raise a kid, I am a kid, I have to raise a kid.
Yeah, if you ask my sister, she would agree. In my point of view, it doesn't feel like that, you know, because like I know that when my parents could be, they did. It's more like I got like raised. No, I became very protective because I saw how protective my sisters were of me. You know. So for me, it was very important to have them be like my safeguards.
Siblings relations are so weird, because like we despise each other,
I
honestly.
hate them, but I also love them.
But like if someone messes with them, I'm like, what? Say that again? My siblings, that piece of shit, I can say that, you cannot.
It's like, I don't like them, but I love them.
It's so weird. I'm like,
Chosen field very often. They become the fastest athletes, the best musicians, and most talented artists.
Athletes,
The
no.
youngest children in a
Absolutely
family tend to be very sociable, though they're usually more irresponsible and frivolous than the older children.
Yeah.
Question 1. How does birth order affect IQ scores? There is a theory saying that the order in which you're born has an impact on your personality and IQ level. This idea has become very popular recently.
By who? Whose theory?
Who? Tell me.
Researchers. Some dismiss the theory entirely, and others are convinced it plays a crucial role. Researchers from the University of Leipzig and Johannes Gutenberg University of Mainz studied more than 20,000 adults from the United States, United Kingdom, and Germany. In this study, they compared siblings within families and the orders of their birth. They found that older children generally show higher performance and intelligence tests. However, the scientists found no birth order effects on emotional stability and imagination. Question number 2. How does birth order affect your personality? Another study provided more evidence that birth order affects your personality. The researchers analysed personality traits of 377,000 high school students in the USA. They found that firstborns tend to be more honest and dominant. However, they're also less social and less resistant to stress. Middle children tend to be more conscientious
I think
and
like
diligent.
all of this
The youngest
depends.
child in the family is more likely to be open and sociable.
Like I'm clearly not
Kids who have
open.
siblings
Open
are
I
often
am.
nervous,
Social,
but they're
no.
also quite outgoing and social. And finally, question
Absolutely
number 3. Is birth order really that important? You have to admit, the results of these studies have a number of inaccuracies.
It is
The
important,
research doesn't
because
take
the
into
rules
account
you play in
important social
family
factors
change
such
like
as
a lot.
ethnicity, education, parents' welfare, and relationships within a family. birth order may have a certain impact on your personality or intelligence. However, don't forget, the parent-child relationships and the upbringing that children receive in their homes are much more important factors in shaping their lives as individuals.
Like we said before, I do think other contexts are not the most important, but like what helps shape like people's personalities in the society. You know, because like I'm different at home and when I'm outside.
There's certain like qualities that they said that is true, not because like
Yeah.
it's not because the order of your birth, and it is at the same time. Obviously, the firstborn, you will be more responsible. Why? Because he has another people to take care of. It's not because he was born first. It's the same as
Yeah.
if you have like a single child and he spends a lot of time with this younger cousin, for example, he also will be more responsible because of that.
I think your birth order is just like another context.
Yeah,
or
it's
like
yeah.
another explanation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the explanation.
Is the only one like, and
Yeah.
also I could be like I don't give a fuck about anything, but if I go home and obviously my parents aren't there, I have to take care of my siblings, and you have like, okay, now I am commanding this ship, so I'm here. But then you are outside.
Yeah.
That also happens because you have a lot of responsibilities in like in home or something like that. So you have like, okay, and then you go like school wise, and you like you don't give a damn because you are so used to being like that. You just have to. You don't want to be carefree for once, and yeah, that also happens a lot.
Yeah, but I do think that it depends on, in that case, like it depends on the age gap. For example, me and my oldest are 3 years and a few months. So like we are very close in age. So I don't think she has that much pressure.
Yeah.
Because like when we stayed home alone or when we started, I was also old enough to be responsible.
I have 11
So,
years for my
yeah.
younger sister.
Exactly. So like there's like
Yeah.
there's no like it depends on a lot of things. It's not just the birth order.
And also the parents, if you have other like family, close family, like grandpa, uncle, godmother.
Yeah.
Also that's important. Your personality also is important. So people that aren't like responsible at all for like their personality, they would not be okay. Just
But like personality usually gets starts to be developed at the age of 4.
yeah, this starts
Before
at 3.
that-
Yeah, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, before that, it's just like what we call a temperament, and it's really annoying when parents are like, "Oh, my newborn has a personality." I'm like, "No, he has a temperament."
And in the first years of like 3 to 6, 7, they start developing their personality, and as I noticed, they are like a reflex of their parents. It's not their true personality. They are learning their personality. So what do we do when we start learning? We look and we copy. Look, copy.
Yeah.
So
It has an imitation.
yeah. Thank you. Like, who said that?
We are confirming with each other the theories. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't remember who said that, but I do remember.
Yeah,
that.
we learn from like watching people and like copying and doing it the same. And as we go growing up, we discover if this works for us or if not. And then we have our personalities that react differently.
It's usually around that age too, because it's when kids start talking. So they start to be able to have conversations and like be able to make their own choices on things. You know,
It's from
like, they
3 to
choose
4. 3, 4.
Yeah. They start talking like or having like fluent conversations. So like I can choose what to say right now, and that's why like personality keeps on like develops, right? I'm pretty sure.
It's also because the brain, obviously, at 3, 4, the brain is mature enough to understand, like, it's me, you are you, I am a girl, you're a boy, they start to recognize that. They start to
Their
recognize,
logic.
yeah, each person has a role in like in their life. This is mom, this is dad, this is mom, this is mom, this is my
Yeah.
professor, this is me. So it's they start to have the personality when they start learning about themselves. Like I am this, I have if I do this I have consequences. Yeah, that's the main thing.
So it's just not just because like the oldest sibling is teaching, like it's taking care of me, that like I'm selfish and I'm successful, and like it's not that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
I think people with more siblings are selfless because they have to share a lot. So it's not because they want to, it's because they need to.
yeah.
You can be selfish
we-
and be like obligated to share because you have to.
And that's what I mean, like family, like being in a home and outside are two different things. The personality obviously is the same, but like you deal with things differently depending where you are. Just take into account that like just because you're oldest or youngest or the middle child doesn't mean that's all you are.
Yeah.
And like just because a video says you are this, or like theory says you are this, it doesn't mean that you are. You don't have to believe on these things that you watch, because there's a lot of things that take like into account what you are or who you are. So yeah.
But some of them have a huge like as an explanation, but it's not the explanation. So
Yeah.
if you like,
Give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want. And yeah, comment if you agree with us or the video. And yeah, that's all.
that's all. Bye bye.